So she uses a very beautiful word for elements. Elements is those of us who are consciously linked to the divine. For them, this really holds true, that always the best will happen. Then we'll say, is God partial to those? No, He's not partial. It's like there's a source of water. Those who've made a channel to that source will get that water and drink it. Those who haven't discovered that source or the channel to it will have to amble along the way, suffer many things till they find that source. But this is a beautiful thing Mother says. If you're connected to the divine in whatever capacity, then surely the divine will arrange every circumstance in your life that your aspiration will be fulfilled. That whatever you want in your deepest, it may not be what you want mentally or vitally, but whatever you want in your deepest will somehow be realized. Mother further says, only you must not forget that it is constantly changing. This best is constantly changing. It is not a static best. It is a best which, if preserved, would not be the best a moment later. So beautiful. So Sri Aurobindo says a very, very startlingly beautiful thing. He says a sin is a good which has outlived its time. Or he says evil is a thing out of its place. Yeah. So suppose there's a best in this moment, because that's best at the level of my evolution. But 2 months later, my state will be different. My level of evolution will be different. The best that's for me will also change. So I mustn't think that, see, today it may be best for me to succeed because I need that boost, I need that self-confidence. But 2 months later, suppose I've gotten a little arrogant, the best for me would be to fail. Because if I kept succeeding, Mother's work in us at the end of the day is to take us out of the prison of the ego. Sri Aurobindo says the ego is the prison of the soul. So if I succeeded all the time, I'd just go tighter and tighter in that prison, right? So if success is best for me, I'll get that. If failure is best for me, I'll get that. But whatever I get in the moment is best for me. But do I have the faith to accept that even when I fail, even when people interact with me in ways that aren't pleasant, still I'm being carried by the unseen hand? That person could not have interacted with me in that way. There's such a beautiful story of Meera Bai. We all know it, but it lends the context here. We all know that after her husband was killed on the battlefield, her brother-in-law Vikram and sister-in-law Meera Bai hated her with her passion. So they were just waiting to get rid of her, and life provided the chance. We know that Akbar was a great connoisseur of music. He was a contemporary of Meera Bai, King Akbar, and he'd heard of the beauty of her music. So he told Birbal that I want to, Tansen, not Birbal, Tansen, who was his musician, that I want to go and hear Meera Bai. So they disguised themselves as Hindus, and they went to Meera Bai, and she sang so beautifully that Tansen supposed to have told her that, Meera Bai, today even I'm a musician, he didn't tell her I'm Tansen, but today my head bows to you because you're a far greater musician than me, because I have sung for kings, but you sing only for God. So there can be no greater musician than you. And he gave her a cup studded with diamonds. Now that was the goof up Akbar made. It had Muslim artist craftsmanship. So when Udabai and Vikram saw this, they said, this is some Muslim, and they guessed that the two visitors were probably Akbar and Tansen. And they said, you've brought great shame to our whole family and everything, and you have to be put an end to. So they decided to give her poison to drink. We know this story. And Meera Bai was in such a state of surrender that she just looked at Krishna and said that, see, not even a leaf falls to the earth without your sanction. If they have spoken these words to me, you must have sanctioned that. Who am I to object? And if you have given me this poison, that also is by your sanction. Without your sanction, they couldn't have put this in my mouth. So if you will me to drink it, I'm going to drink it. So she put it to her lips and she drank it, and everyone was startled because they saw something black going down Krishna's throat, and Meera Bai remained completely unaffected. So if you have that level of surrender, the way Meera Bai did, the world can give you poisons to drink, but that's why Shiva is called the Neelkant, no? He drinks all the poisons of the world and just stores it in his throat.